Hello, and welcome to the Better Husband Challenge. By reaching this video, it means you've signed up for the Better Husband Challenge. I applaud you and I congratulate you for taking this action, because it's in action that you can change things in your marriage. It's by taking action like signing up and doing the Better Husband Challenge that will bring you closer to your partner, that will bring passion back and a love back because you're communicating from the heart. That is the purpose of the Better Husband Challenge. Hello, my name is Mark Jala. I am the founder and certified marriage coach at Happy Marriage Coaching. In the next 15 minutes or so, I'm going to go through some examples that will help you write a very effective and help you dig down and write the best appreciation cards that you can. I'll also give you some samples that Rob has written to his wife. And so I'll point out some things that what I see as a marriage coach that can help along the way in reaching out and explaining to your partner the things that you love and appreciate. And lastly, I have a couple of marriage tips that will help with the challenge and with your marriage in general. So I have my notes here. I'll be reading off some of those, especially when it comes to the samples from Rob. So the first thing I want to say is this. The purpose of the Better Husband Challenge is to help you with your marriage. Rob, the founder of the Better Husband Challenge, and myself are here to help you in every way that we can. Whether it's how to be writing cards, what to be looking for, where to be looking for things, all along the way, our job is to help you with this challenge and to better your marriage. So we are here to help, whether it's by, you connect with us by email, and especially join the private Facebook group. That's where you're going to see a lot of my information. So as a marriage coach, providing tips about what can improve your marriage. Rob will be providing samples of what he is writing to his wife. And so there's a lot there, and you can communicate with other folks who are also part of the challenge. So I highly recommend, please do join the private Facebook group. And that should be highlighted in the emails that you've received. So with that, I'm going to get started here. So I have in this video, it's going to be 5-5-2. I have 5 tips for how to write a very effective appreciation card, 5 samples from Rob, and then 2 tips to help you with. So the first tip on writing an effective appreciation card is to be specific. The more specific you can be, the better the card will be, the better it will communicate what you are thinking and feeling to your partner. This is where you write the what, the when, the where. If you write a card, I appreciate you today. Okay, that sounds fine. But if you say, I appreciate the way you handled this situation with our children, or I appreciate how you addressed this financial concern, whatever it might be, when you specify something in detail, the more detail, the better. So first tip is be specific in when you are writing your appreciation cards. Second, be timely. So look for things that happened to the day you are writing it or from the prior day. Don't go back. Remember back in 1964, be timely with something that happened just recently. So when you do that, it's going to be fresh on your mind. It's going to be fresh on your partner's mind. And that will make it easier for both of you to say, okay, this is something that he's indicating that he appreciated or he loves about me. And so that's a good thing. So be specific, be timely, something within the last today, yesterday, the day before at the latest. Aim for that as your goal. Number 3, keep it short. Keep it to about 2 to 5 sentences. We're not writing novels. We don't have to write a lot of material. In fact, when you can write 2 to 5 sentences and be very specific and write it in a way that communicates what is on your heart in that amount of space, then it's going to be communicated a whole lot better. Rather than just rambling on and just like I am right now. So the whole idea is to be, specific, timely, keep it short. Number 4, speak from the heart. Insincerity will show. If you're not quite into it, if you're trying to, some days, this is called a challenge for a reason. Some days when you're trying to write your appreciation card, you might have to, be, wondering what am I going to write about? And you're going to have to really dig in to find what can you write about? And so you'll be tempted to just, as they say, phone it in. You'll be tempted to write something generic. You'll be tempted to do something that, is just like, I just don't want to write something. Insincerity will be picked up on. And it doesn't help when you are insincere, when it comes across that way. So the most important thing is, as you're writing this, be looking for things that you could write about. Oh, and this is the challenge. This is the Better Husband Challenge. The challenge is to be taking your mind off of things that are negative, are going on bad, problems that you have, and start looking for the good. The more you start focusing on what's good in the relationship, for one, the easier this will be, and a strange thing will happen. Things will start improving in your marriage because you're not focusing on just the problems. And I'll get more with that with one of my marriage tips at the end of this video. So be specific, be timely, keep it short, speak from the heart, and lastly, no expectations. Why are you doing this? It's a valid question. So why are you doing this challenge? Besides, the idea that it can help your marriage, it can bring you closer to your partner. Those are all very, very good things. But here's the catch. If you are doing this challenge to get something, that's not a good reason to be doing this challenge. It's important that you have no expectations. You are doing this to give of yourself to your partner. You are reaching out and you're going to be giving this so that they can have a connection with you. So that's the most important thing, is don't have expectations that as I write these or after 30 days, everything is going to be absolutely perfect, because it may take a little bit longer than the 30 days. But the challenge is for 30 days, and you're doing it because this is your effort to communicate with your partner. So those are the 5 tips. And now I'm going to read some samples, and this will give you a better idea of what to be saying. So I picked 5, and so the first one is, it's a way of saying thank you for a particular action. This is what Rob wrote. He said, "Thank you for planning our upcoming time off calendar. That you actually want to spend time with me makes thinking about our time as newly minted empty nesters exciting. I appreciate our time at home together as much as going away with you." So he's offering an appreciation, a thank you for something that the wife did to help them plan for their upcoming time off calendar. It's short, it's timely. He spoke from the heart. I could feel that in that. I hope you can too. So here's the next one. This is about expressing feelings. Also, as a precursor to this, Rob spent some time in Austin, Texas. And so he's writing this. "Austin's a mighty fine place, full of warm people, fabulous food, and a fun vibe. Only thing that's missing is you." Now, I love that one because he's expressing that, he's wishing that his wife was there with him when he was on that trip. And that is just, I mean, that short, very short, but it was powerful. It was a very powerful appreciation card. Next one. In this one, he's appreciating, the input from his wife. He's saying, when I work through ideas and thoughts, your comments are helpful. I appreciate how thoughtful your feedback is. Whether I agree or disagree, I always find your perspective supportive to my process of working through challenges. Now, he says a lot of things in this short message. So immediately he's saying, oh, listen, I may not agree with everything that you're offering, but I'm listening. I'm hearing it. I appreciate, that the thoughts and ideas that she's coming up with. That's a great appreciation card. Another one about appreciating clarity. He says, thanks for letting me know you like me turning on the heater before you get up. That helps me guide me to keep doing it. You like it, I'll keep doing it. We men, such simple creatures, LOL. I appreciate you saying something instead of assuming that I should just know. I like doing things for you that you enjoy. I feel good when you're happy, and I feel even better when I am an active part of you feeling happy. I love this one because he expresses a common issue between men and women, is that oftentimes the men feel like that their wives want to, we need to read their mind so that they're not clear, they're not upfront, they're not asking for what they want. In this case here, his wife expressed what she wanted, and honestly, we men do like to have our wives be happy. We want to be a provider for them in all the ways that we can. And this is what he expressed in that card. It's excellent, excellent card. Last one. I call this the Venus talk. Thank you for trusting me to listen to you about challenges with coworkers and customers. I understand you're not venting or ranting, and I feel good that you know you can depend on me to be fully present. I appreciate your trust in me as a sounding board to work things through out loud. I call this the Venus talk because this was an example that Dr. John Gray, the author of the Mars and Venus book series, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, in there he writes that oftentimes men, when we get stressed out, when we feel frustrated, we want to hide, run and hide away, go to the man cave. Women want to talk about it. And so oftentimes when our wives come to us and ask us, or to talk, they're explaining what they felt, what they heard, what they saw. And our first reaction often is to solve the problem, answer them, provide feedback. Well, this is what you need to do. That's the last thing that they want. And Dr. John Gray came up with this idea of the Venus talk, of a specified set amount of time, usually at the end of the day, where the wife can express, what is on her mind, express her feelings, and the husband listens, doesn't really talk, acknowledges things that are said, but just listens and is there to be fully present for the wife while the wife is expressing the emotions, the feelings, the things that went on in that particular day. So those are 5 examples from Rob. Excellent examples. Repeat this video to catch those. But now I'm going to move on to a couple of tips. And so these are a couple of things that I find from my clients, the things that these are common ways to help bring people together. And it ties in directly to this Better Husband Challenge. And the first one is called Develop Your Love Map. Now, Dr. John Gottman, one of the top, and foremost researchers of relationships and married couples, developed this concept of the love map. Now, when you look at a map like Google Map, Bing Map, or something like that, it usually starts, you put in your address and it starts at a very high view. And as you go down, you start getting more and more detail the closer you get. And in that detail, you might see where the parks are, where certain restaurants are, forests, all kinds of different details. And then if you press another button, sometimes it will move off to the side and you get a street view of, depending on what map service you're using, the street view then gives you a totally different perspective. The idea is how it relates to marriages is that what you know about your partner is the equivalent of a map or a love map. And my challenge to you is get a doctorate degree in your partner. Get a doctorate degree in your partner. So oftentimes when couples date, when they first start going out, there's a lot of talk. There's a lot of banter back and forth. They're learning about each other. Are we compatible? What do you like? What this? All kinds of things. But then as time goes on, we oftentimes stop that detailed level of communication, and then things shift into more about what's going on in the day, and we don't talk about what's happening with us, all the time. And so this is what's important about getting a different perspective, getting more details, drill down on the love map. And here's the thing, they're always changing. Listen, life is always changing. So every day, our bodies are regenerating new cells. Every day, we're getting older. It changes how we interact with our work, our hobbies, our relationships, our interests, our sports that we play. All of those things are things to talk about. And so when you develop your love map, and the challenge to you that will help you with the Better Husband Challenge is to develop a much deeper, get to know your partner at a totally different level. Who are two people she has challenges with right now? Who are two people that she goes to for assistance? What are some things that that concern her now? What are some unrealized dreams that she had that, perhaps may not be fulfilled? All kinds of things you can ask questions about. So this is the concept of the love map, and my challenge to you, and it will help you build or write these appreciation cards, is by asking more questions, being more involved in her life every single day. Be involved. Ask her about driving and from work and all aspects of the life. Develop the love map so it's like you study. When I talk about getting a doctorate degree, it's like, what if you were to get a degree, how would you get a degree? You'd study, you'd watch. Well, study your partner. Watch your partner. Look for things. How do they walk? What's their styles of clothing, of hairstyles, of makeups, study them in detail. And you'll learn and you'll start to get a different perspective about them, and that will help with the writing these appreciation cards. Lastly, the second tip is reduce your expectations. Expectations are, there are two different kinds of expectations, and oftentimes, married couples will say, well, my partner should be the source of love in my life. That my partner should be there to protect me. My partner should be this, all kinds of different things. And I use this example for when I talk about expectations, and it's about Valentine's Day. And so Valentine's Day, take for example, what if a wife had, Valentine's Day is coming up. I expect a dozen roses, a box of chocolates, and to go out to a fancy restaurant. If that is the expectation that they're looking for, then what happens when he comes home thinking, hey, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to, to mix things up a little bit. I'm going to bring home a single rose. He brings home the rose, puts it in a vase, puts it on the dining room table. He brings home fixings for a great dinner, surf and turf, for tiramisu for the dessert. He brings home a great meal, and he does this, and come to find out she's not very happy, because her expectation was to go out to have the chocolates and a dozen roses. Next year, the following year, he learns, and he says, listen, my wife just, really, that did not go over well when I provided one rose, all the surf and turf that I made myself, the tiramisu that I made myself. The tiramisu is a great dessert, but it didn't go over well. So I'm going to bring her dozen roses, a box of chocolates, and we're going to go out to a nice swanky restaurant. Now the question is this: did he provide those dozen roses, the box of chocolates, and the going out to a nice restaurant? Is he doing that because that's how he can express his love, or is it because that was a demand on him? That was an expectation on him. And so so here's a key difference. So some people will say, well, that's what that's her likes. That's, he should be providing because that's what that's what she likes. Well, so here's the thing. So when she has likes, and if she's making a request is, bring me the box of chocolates, dozen roses, go out to a restaurant. What happens when the request is not met? And take that for you. What was a recent request that you asked for your partner, your wife, and it wasn't met? How did you feel? And so when a request is not met, and if you or your partner gets angry, gets upset over it, it wasn't a request. It was a demand. Now, how do you feel when somebody, your partner, work, a friend, somebody demands that you do something? How do you respond? See, demands can create conflict, because now the person to respond, they're not doing it because they want to, or they feel loving towards you to do, to respond in a particular way. They're doing it because that was required or expected of them. So the whole point here, and I know I'm going along on this video, but the idea is reduce your expectations, and keep in mind that if you think you have an expectation or it's a request, and if you don't get it, how do you feel? If you're feeling angry or upset about it, it wasn't a request. It's the ideal. I guess the picture I'm trying to paint here is when two partners come together, have minimal expectations, and what the things that they do is coming from their heart. It's coming because this is the way they feel. They want to do that. Then all of a sudden, things, all of a sudden that the two are bonded. They get closer to one another because they know that their partner is doing certain things because they want to do it. Now, by all means, make your requests. Let them know what you like. And if they provide it, great. If they don't, again, if you get angry, it wasn't a request. It was a demand. So a couple things here. Develop your love map. Get a doctorate degree in your partner, and lower or reduce the number of expectations and demands that you have from your partner. And when you're writing these appreciation cards, don't expect a particular response within 5 days, 7 days, 30 days. Just let it go. Keep doing the cards. Let it be because something that you want to do, because you're expressing your feelings and your appreciation for them. So that's what I have for you here today. So again, welcome and congratulations for joining the Better Husband Challenge. We're here to help you. Rob and I are here to help you and want to help you with this challenge and in bettering your marriage. Look for our emails, join the private Facebook group, and we look forward to having a conversation and talking with you and conversing with you in that Facebook group. So my name is Mark Jala. I'm a certified coach at Happy Marriage Coaching, congratulating you for taking this action. We'll see you in the Facebook group.